We are talking about a region which is arguably the most important strategically in the whole world. For several reasons. Since time immemorial, it was the meeting place of the three continents of the old world. Okay? That is geography, or if you like, political geography or geopolitics. Until fairly recently, certainly within my sort of living memory, it was also important because since 1869, when the Suez Canal was built, it was the route from this part of the world to the Far East, through the Suez Canal, and that is very close to the Middle East. But predominantly, it has become strategically the most important part of the world since 1913. And since 1913, nothing, but nothing, this is an axiom, nothing that happens in that part of the world is unconnected with oil. Why 1913? In 1913, Winston Churchill, then First Lord of the Admiralty, converted the British Navy from coal to oil. And thereby started the period in whose we are now living towards the end of this period, when oil arguably is declining in quantity, but becoming even more important strategically, precisely for this reason. So nothing is divorced from oil. Okay, and then into this part of the world steps a colonizing project, Zionism, which is self-avowed, and I will read a few quotations in which Zionists self-describe as colonizing. So this is not. I'm not throwing it as an epithet or a dirty word, but simply as a precise description. But it is one which has some very special characteristics. I cannot go into analyzing all of them, and I refer you to the text of a lecture I gave in November of 2006, a little bit more than a year ago, which is listed in, I think, in some of the invitations, certainly in the website. And you can find more detail. I'm going to concentrate on some aspects. But one very important distinguishing mark, one specificity of Zionist colonization, was that whereas in most other cases you had a metropolis, a metropolitan country, Big Britain or Spain or France or Belgium, acquiring, conquering a piece of what later became known as the Third World, and sending its own citizens, and allowing maybe citizens of other countries to settle there, colonize the place under its supervision, under its tutelage. Well, this was not the case with Zionist colonization. Zionist colonization was the invention, the project invented by Jews, middle class and lower middle class Jews of Central and Eastern Europe, who decided, and I will not go into analyzing the reasons for this or to criticize it, but this is stated as a simple fact, that the solution for the Jewish problem that became acute in that part of the world at the time was to colonize one or another part of the country. First of all, I say one or another because there was, first of all, they did not quite agree on where. The inventor, the founder of political Zionism, Theodor Herzl, first inclined towards Kenya. It is called the Uganda Project because that at that time, the part that he wanted to colonize was part of Uganda. Later on, British imperialists drew the boundaries in Eastern Africa, and the part of Uganda that Herzl wanted to colonize as a Jewish state became part of Kenya. Be that as it may, for various reasons, ideological, religious, and other, the Zionist movement settled on Palestine. But then arose the question, how do you do it? First of all, you need permission of whichever power is dominant in that part of the world. Secondly, you need the protection of that power in order to overcome the anticipated resistance of the natives. Let me read you part of a must-read article written in 1922-23 by Vladimir Jabotinsky, the spiritual father of 5 Israeli prime ministers, right? An important Zionist theoretician and politician. His disciples include Menachem Begin, Yitzhak Shamir, Benjamin Netanyahu, Ariel Sharon, and the present incumbent Olmert. They are all disciples of Jabotinsky.